What makes me proud? It's the way we are working with our service users and patients to take forward innovative practice across our services to ensure there's true co-production.
Well, the service have helped me along the road of recovery, so I'm very thankful for that.
I feel proud that that the Trust's sort of procedures, policies and projects are starting to include service users more and more. So today Natalie has joined us to interview for some psychology posts, so she's got her own questions and she's sat on the interview panel. Natalie's also one of many young people that have helped us produce our own website for Wolverhampton and Sandwell CAMHS. So that's a project that I'm particularly proud of. And it's great that the Trust has let us use the voice of young people.
Actually setting goals with patients and be able to reach it with them.
I think the way that we work as a team on the ward is a multidisciplinary team. We're made up of nurses, doctors, OTs and physios. The patients that we deal with, they're from all walks of life. They can be very complex, but obviously they're here for a service. And we do our best to make sure that we meet their needs and then move them on.
Progress them to a better life, isn't it, and function.
Yeah. And we get a lot of positive feedback from family members, for the people that we look after. They always commend us and say
compliments.
That we've done a very good job. That makes us proud.
I've worked with mental health services in the Trust for about 12 years, and the one thing that strikes me in this organisation is how tirelessly our staff work. They're a real asset to our organisation, and that all of their focus is on the best outcomes for our service users, their families and carers.
I feel proud of the way the Trust, the care that the Trust provides for both families and the patients that we work with, because they sort of inform us of the care once they're discharged. They come back and just to say thank you.
And the one thing that I'm really proud of, especially this year with the patients, is the fact that 7 patients have actually managed to pack in smoking, and it was due to the Trust becoming a no smoking trust. I actually sat down with the patients and asked them how they'd like to go about it, and they all came up with a plan and decided that they'd like to cut off a smoke break for once a fortnight. Over a 3-month period, which took them up to the 1st of July in time for them packing in smoking. And during that time, they hardly complained, they hardly moaned about any of the fact that they couldn't get the cigarettes or have the cigarette breaks that they were losing. And since then, we're in now 10 weeks in, since they've packed in smoking, and we've had no incidents of violence or aggression, and none of them have actually reverted back to wanting to have cigarettes at all. So that's made me really, really proud.
I'm proud of the improvements that we've made to the training and development of staff, which has ultimately allowed us to improve the quality of care that we offer our service users. A really good example of some of the training that we've done is all the staff members have had a 2-day dementia course, which has allowed us to improve our insight and skills.
Here at the Sunflower Centre, we're proud of our serial casting clinic, which previously won an award. Here we enable children to have a specialist service in their community setting.
Well, I'm really proud of the fact that we've managed to keep activities going in the Jerry Simon Clinic for now 17 years. So that's a major achievement really. We have patients here that stay for sometimes up to 5 years. So it's a long time to keep people motivated and energised. And it's also a long time, 17 years, to keep yourself motivated and energised, and I think that we do. And I think that's what I'm really proud of, the fact that we keep going and we get knocked, but we keep bouncing back and providing a really good therapeutic service to the patients that come to live at the Jerry Simon.
Taking my medication and having the support of Hallam Street and my CPA.
Understanding of spiritual care has really grown over the years, and we have grown as a team, and we're in demand and feel valued and feel that we're making a really important contribution to the wider aims of the Trust to provide compassionate and inclusive care.
I'm proud of, with the patient, with the team works on the ward and work together and we get patient to well.
2015 when I started, and just as the matrons were launching. We had a CQC inspection and the outcome was that the Black Country required improvement. When we were re-inspected in 2016, we'd actually moved from requires improvement to good, and that is through the hard work of all the staff that work within the Black Country, the partnership working between the matrons, the service managers, the general managers, head of nursing, everybody coming together and meeting the objectives to move the organisation from requires improvement to good. And that is one thing that the Black Country's always strive to do, is what is the next step and how can we keep moving forward to continually improve services for our patients.
I think we've got a really strong AHP focus within the bigger multidisciplinary team. We have physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech and language, working for older adult urgent care. We provide a diverse range of therapies for people, including things like adaptive Tai Chi, like hand touch for relaxation, Pexis therapy. Just really proud of being part of the bigger multidisciplinary team and working in older adult urgent care.
Here at the Sunflower Centre, we're proud to provide a seamless service for children with disabilities for our robotics service, joint working with Dudley Brooker Hospital.
So if I think of our governors, there are a few things that I think of, particularly their passion, the way that our Dudley governors get involved every summer in the big workshop event there. And how will I ever forget the Wolverhampton posse, as I call them, the group of Wolverhampton governors who are particularly committed and regularly call me in or Leslie in to understand what's happening in the particular Wolverhampton community. And I think that's what governors are all about for me, very passionate, very vocal, rightly, on behalf of the carers and patients and the experiences that they have.
Within my role, we're really building up a lovely bond between the mums and the babies and supporting that bond. And I just find that really interesting. There's so much in the press at the moment about mental health for the long term, and we know that by having a lovely supportive bond with the parent, that really builds their resilience, and that really will, in the long term, help those children really function and achieve well and be happy in their lives. So we're building the resilience of that next generation.
I've never worked in a place where I feel more valued and supported, and I've experienced being managed and led by women that I trust and respect and I'm inspired by.
I think it's when you have a patient who comes in and they're really poorly, and you know that they haven't been able to cope at home and they're really ill, and then you see the way they start to recover, and then they might be here for a short time, they might be here for a long time, but then when they're well, you feel they can go home, you feel as though you've been part of their recovery and you've just helped.
I'd say understanding.
Collaborative.
Positive.
Evolving.
Compassionate.
Kick-ass.
Recovery.
Dedicated.
Supportive.
Loyalty.
Outstanding.
Caring.